Greetings, fanboys and fangirls. This is Brendan, and welcome to our very first obscure Star Wars vehicle review. Now, this thing is a little wacky looking, and if you're a hardcore collector, chances are you know what this is. This is one of the mini rigs, and let me give you a kind of a brief backstory on the mini rigs. In '81, a year after Empire Strikes Back, Kenner was looking for a way to sort of pad the vintage toy line. And so they decided to start coming up with some original vehicle ideas. And these were called the mini rigs. And they're just small, like one-person vehicles. And many of them were actually like miniature versions of vehicles you'd see on screen. And we'll cover some of those later. But this is one of the very first three. And this is called the MTV-7. Music Television 7. Not really. Multi-terrain vehicle, I think. And yes, again, released in 1981. Supposed to be an Empire Strikes Back, a Hoth-centric vehicle, actually, an Imperial vehicle. And you can see it's, I don't quite know what to say. It seems like a completely impractical design, but it makes for a very good toy. It's been called the Flintstones car over the years by a lot of collectors, but I think it probably has more to do with Kenner wanting to appeal with sort of a kid's love for like monster trucks. Now, it's got one action feature, if you wanted to call it an action feature. I don't know exactly, again, what purpose it serves, but the tires are spring-loaded, so you can push it down, and then it snaps right back up. Actually, I can imagine, like, pulling one of these back and hitting your brother or sister on the head with it. That would actually hurt quite a bit, because they're really spring-loaded with some pressure, so that's probably wouldn't pass safety standards today if Hasbro were to release a vehicle like this. But it's got one lone weapon. There's a little gun up top, and swivels back and forth pretty nicely. You can see mine's got quite a bit of sticker wear going on, but I'm pretty sure most of the original stickers are. Yeah, it's not one of my favorite mini rigs or vehicles, but it's so fascinating. I picked this up at a toy show a few years ago for, $5 or $6, something like that, and I just think it warrants taking a look at because I think it highlights sort of the mind frame that Kenner was in back during the vintage line compared to what Hasbro is doing with the brand today. Actually, what Kenner really was doing with the line when they brought it back in the 90s. But we'll show it with some figures here. The box shows it being piloted by a snow trooper, so we'll stick this guy in here. So I'm driving. I don't know. It tickles me. It's so I don't know what kind of tactical advantage this thing would give you. But there's the snow trooper. I like an AT-AT pilot with it myself since he's a vehicle driver, really. So got a big kick out of that. There is one thing about this. There's an I'm sure a non-intentional piece of toy symmetry that you can pull off if you have this in a particular playset that I think is just great. Kenner released all sorts of cheapy playsets that were just like a plastic base with a cardboard backdrop. And during the first film, during A New Hope, they released the Land of the Jawas, which had like an escape pod and like a sandcrawler backdrop and things. And they reused that mold twice, the base part, for the Empire Strikes Back, once as an Imperial attack playset with an AT-AT in the background, and once as the Rebel Echo base. And I don't have either cardboard backdrop, so I honestly don't really know which one this was originally released as, because the cardboard is the only difference. But I got this at a thrift store a little while back. Yeah, you can see, if you're familiar with the Land of the Jawas, it is the exact same molding. And because it's the Land of the Jawas, as you can see, there's a tire tread in the snow right in the front of the base plate, which is supposed to be a Jawa sandcrawler tread. But if you're doing a Hoth scene with your toys, the MTV-7 fits perfectly along the tire tread for the sandcrawler. So there you go. It all makes perfect sense once you have it together. Again, not intentional at all on Kenner's part, I'm sure, but it's just a fun little Star Wars toy oddity. I just happened to get a big kick out of that. And I was just playing with them one day and I realized, hey, I bet this would... And there you go. There you have it. Now, folks, this has been the first of our many obscure Star Wars vehicle reviews. There's going to be a lot more covering all sort of time periods in the brand's history. We're going to do some more vintage mini rigs like this. I'm going to do some 90s Power of the Force expanded universe and concept vehicles, and then we're going to go on to some more modern stuff. So hope you enjoy these and hope you stick with them, and we will see you next time. This is Fanboys Forever, signing out.